think it's the first Filipinos in NFT panel. I think first time to be on Twitch. First time for me to actually provide you original content on my Twitch channel. I opened my Twitch channel a year ago. Still don't know what to do with it. So if you want to subscribe and see content like this or any future content you might want to suggest for me to provide, let me know. Subscribe right now, and join the chat if you wish. If you want to ask questions and join the chat with us about Filipinos NFTs. Now, um, I must say this before we go on. I don't know anything about NFTs, which is why this panel exists. Uh, I know nothing, and I'm sure some of you watching right now also feel the same way too. Very foreign about this new uh, exciting industry that's coming up. It's only been around for a few years or so, maybe more, not sure. But these lovely guests will help us provide us the information and anything else, and also their creativity and whatever else that they can provide you with about this new exciting industry, this new community that we can all be involved. Um, yes, so I'm going to stop jabbering. Welcome to Filipinos NFTs. Let me introduce you to our lovely guests. So, one moment, please, while I get their bios. First off is Carmen Villadar, a.k.a. Digital Femme. She has been an early adopter of internet technology since 1994. Her involvement with the Carlos Bulason Theatre in Toronto, Canada, the Cultural Workshop, inadvertently set her on a digital path with a slight detour to Texas to fulfill her soul's mission as a nurse. Um, in 2005, she joined the 3D virtual world of Second Life. Remember Second Life? That was cool to be part of that. Um, and immediately realized the importance of a creator community, digital currency, and the power of global collaboration in the metaverse. Creating digital content in SL was Carmen's first experience with the concept of NFTs. In 2007, she took a leap of faith, left nursing, and moved to Frankfurt, Germany to start a 3D metaverse business. While in Frankfurt, Carmen started the Frankfurt Girl Geek Dinners, Like Mine Frankfurt, and Open Coffee Club Frankfurt. An avid supporter of tech startups, Carmen became the Android PR gal and helped create an online and offline community based on Google's mobile operating system, Android. She evangelized the brand under What's Up Android. It was in Frankfurt where she attended an augmented reality developer camp and became excited about the applications in AR that AR could bring to real life use cases. It would be 12 years later for Carmen's dream to come true. In April of 2021, determined to start her collection of NFTs, she stumbled upon OVR in Reality, a technology platform that mapped over the real world where AR experiences could be created. Carmen now tweets for OVR while maintaining her digital marketing role with three other clients in the real estate and investment property sector. Listed in the top 100 female futurists, Carmen continues to look into the future, waiting for the mainstream convergence of artificial intelligence and augmented reality. Everyone, please welcome Carmen.
Hi everyone. Wow, that was really long, Edwin. I wrote it out too long.
I love reading it. I love reading it. Such a journey. Our next guest is Mike Damazo. Um, let me get to his thing. All right, so he. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, so Mike got involved in the NFT space when he first heard about CryptoKitties in late 2017. He attended San Diego Startup Week and learned about Ethereum, which led to CryptoKitties. He passed on it, but the two things he remembered were CryptoKitties and Neon District, blockchain game. From 2017 to 2020, he was deployed in the Navy, but he was still interested, or he was still he was still wanting to invest in Ethereum. Then, in the beginning of 2021, he stumbled onto NBA Top Shot, a product from the same team who created CryptoKitties. It was then he decided to follow his curiosity and explore further into NFTs by learning more about DAOs. How Mike fits in the NFT space is a combination of being an investor, a collector, and a creator. As an investor, he began with a passion for personal finance. As a, as an investor, he began with I said that. As an investor, he began with a passion for personal finance. As a collector, he began purchasing what he likes, not based on what would increase in value, but rather appreciate the pieces in his collection. As a creator, he began creating a video content or create video content on YouTube to educate newcomers to the NFT scene. So everyone, welcome Mike to our panel.
Woo! Thank you, Edwin. Thank you, everybody.
And lastly is Craig Obligacion Wilson. The Derbied One is what he's known for in the crypto scene. He is a Filipino American NFT and film creator. He is a leader in the Filipino Los Angeles creative and business community. After 100 hours of studying the Web3 space, he bought his first NFT collection, Crypto Pills. As an active listener in the Crypto Pills Clubhouse community, he gained lots of insight. He then felt he had enough information to move forward creating his own. He took his film producing and directing visionary outlook and applied it towards creating his own NFT collection, the Derby Collection. Craig owns land in the augmented reality platform over the reality, aka OVR, which was I mentioned before in Carmen's bio. He is opening AR galleries across it, including land in Los Angeles' historic Filipino town. Wow. He is also creating a Roku style box that will stream NFTs for public display called the Crypto Kiosk, which will display curated NFT art. He is also working on he's also working with the Unique Grid Foundation to help create a decentralized internet option. Please, everyone, welcome Craig Obligacion Wilson.
thank you, Edwin. Thanks for having
Sure.
me.
So I'm gonna get right to it. Like I said earlier at the top of the introduction, I don't know anything about NFTs. I guess the first question I will ask, and you can go further into it about NFTs, is what does NFT stand for? Let's go with Mike first, and then each one will give me your interpretation later as we go
So
along.
NFT stands for non-fungible token, and for me, it's just digital ownership of certain things, be it land in OVR or sandbox, to collectibles such as art from different artists, to even game assets, much like we have something that centralizes like Fortnite, where they have skins, but you're not really owning that, and that's owned by Epic Games. Whereas if it was an NFT, you have the digital ownership of that. Say like an Axie Infinity, where you own the Axies and do with it as you want. So that would be my definition for NFTs. So I'll pass it on to Craig next.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, as Mike said, it stands for non-fungible tokens. And to kind of expand upon what he said, the way I see it from a creative point of view, at least, is it's a technology that creators and artists get to design. So, you know, non-fungible tokens is not only about the JPEG or the art that is most popular right now, but it is actually a technology you can do a lot with. But trying to explain it seems to be very similar to explaining the internet in the early '90s to people that didn't know what it was. It's it's currently very much about the art, but it is evolving to do a lot more. Carmen?
Okay. Yeah, I agree. And I feel like fundamentally it is the digital equivalent of a certificate of authenticity. So you know that, let's just speak about the art world. There are art pieces that when we purchase, or anything that has a certificate of authenticity, we get the actual certificate. Even if we buy a Hermes bag or a Birkin bag, you always get that. So to me, an NFT is that, the same concept, but in a digital format. And it also allows, it's like it provides a new type of ownership for digital files, which we've never had before, because I guess 20 years, ever since the internet came about, people have been creating digital art, and they have never been really acknowledged for that, because a lot of the true artists is like, oh no, that's not art, this is art. You have to, like, it has to be watercolor or oils and stuff like that. But because of Beeple, I believe he was the first digital artist that really broke the portal for digital artists to make it more relevant. I'm talking a lot. So NFTs are to me, are like that. They're like digital certificates of authenticity, but so much more. Because when you purchase an NFT, like if I were to purchase one of Mike's or Craig's NFTs, that gives me, like, I'm the original buyer, and then that particular NFT can be sold and resold and resold, and it increasing its value. But I'm still, what's that word called? Sorry guys, there's this word provenance that's tied with art, where, oh, what does it mean?
It's like a certificate that proves ownership of that physical piece of art.
Yes,
Right?
yes, like historically, that's right, that's
Yeah.
right. Like you can track it, you can track who was the first owner. Exactly.
But
Thank you.
those pieces can be faked, right?
Not on an NFT, not on the
Right.
blockchain.
Not on
Which
an
that's a
NFT.
whole,
Right.
yeah, that's a good point, Craig. That's a
Yeah,
good.
so it's definitely one of those things like with the internet, with Web 2, there's a lot of files out there. Like I could take a picture of the Mona Lisa, or like here's a right click copy save of it, but it's not the same as like, oh, this Mona Lisa is owned by Craig. Like I could see that verified by the blockchain. So that's how we have that verifiable source, as we were saying, is it's all through the blockchain, such as Ethereum, Solana, just to name a few, or even Flow.
Well, I always wondered about that concept about original artwork and then it becomes an NFT later. I had this conversation with Craig earlier where, because I'm coming from the other mindset where if you take, like, I remember back in the day where if you take original art and change it, then you're disrupting the copyright, right? And you can't. I mean, you can do it on your free will, but don't sell it because that's a copyright from the original. How is that possible with NFTs? I mean, how do you avoid, or does copyright matter in NFT? I don't know.
I mean, it does. I know that some NFT collections allow people to have derivatives, like Bored Ape Yacht Club, right, Mike? So other creators, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. Actually, you have to own one of the original Bored Ape Yacht Clubs to have the right to create a derivative. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. So what it is with derivatives is like, if you want to put your twist in it and then like actually sell it in the beginning, and even now, like I'll have people kind of reach out in my DMs to be like, hey, can I make a derivative of your artwork? We could split the profit, and or if you want to purchase it from me, we could do that. And certain NFTs, it all depends really what their terms of service are. Where if I'm not sure with crypto pills, but with Board Ape Yacht Club, it's an open source copyright or trademark and everything. So with mine that I owned, the 916, if people wanted to make that art and sell it, they're able to. And as long as I like agree to it, like right now, I'll put it out in this video, is I'm working with someone in Japan to do a manga that's going to be featuring my Board Ape Yacht Club
Oh, nice.
and everything. So it's like they've seen it in different artworks. So it's like I'm building the IP that I got with my NFT.
That's awesome. Yeah, and so on the other hand, with crypto pills, there are no derivatives allowed. The original crypto pill man uh, actually was commissioned by Eminem to go on tour with him in the early 2000s. And the original artist, Misha Klein, they call him the godfather of ray tracing. He's been doing digital art since the late 80s. Like, he's been around the block. I've heard him explained as the Andy Warhol of Europe. So he's Dutch, so he's very famous in the Netherlands and Europe in general. A lot of artists know who he is, and like I've heard people fangirl and fanboy over him when he's in a room talking. So that's always been pretty cool. But he doesn't allow derivatives because he sees his art piece as his character that he created, and that's the way he wants to roll, and we all respect that. So it's so to answer your question, Edwin, it depends on the collection. It kind of goes both ways.
Okay. Who? Okay. Okay. Darn it. The value of an NFT. I would think that for me, so old school. Or old man. I'm not sure which one. Physical
You're fine.
artwork. Physical artwork. The values placed on physical artwork is based on, I don't know, maybe okay, well, yeah, well, appraisers when you trade baseball cards to determine the value. You have a baseball know-it-all or an appraiser that determines the value of a baseball card before you trade it or sell it. Um, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies value. I'm not sure even that, because regular cash money is based. The value is based by the government or whoever's printing the money. How is digital art? Oh my God, that's another question there too. Because I know digital art was a thing even when I was in college and all. How does NFT art? How is that valued? Is there? I'm sure there's an appraiser within the NFT community that no, that doesn't determine the value of the.
No, not that I know of. And this is what's so like poof with this whole NFT art ecosystem that's currently building, that people are currently building. It's almost like it's up to us. It's subjective. Like, we know already, we can just Google it. There are NFT art that have sold for like in the hundreds of thousands of US dollars, just like a simple JPEG alone. And that, to me, that's the phenomenon. To me, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around this phenomenon, right?
So the
Yeah,
value.
and
So the value is determined by the purchaser.
by the market.
Market.
The market always determines the value. So, like, if any of us were to release our own NFTs, we have to set our own price, and then we'll see if it actually sells for that. And then we'll also see if it resells for that. Like, sometimes, people will buy an NFT and then put it on the market to resell it to try to make a profit. And sometimes people don't buy it for that. And sometimes you'll discover that the NFT that you bought may actually fall under the original price you bought it for, because there's no market demand.
Okay.
Yeah, so it really.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say, so it really depends on the market demand and that individual artist. Take Beeple for example. He was doing it for like 5,000 days. Yeah, 5,000 days, and he was already an established artist prior to that. And one of the people that put him on was Pac, who is also a big artist and everything. So it's really what the community knows of, like, okay, this is an OG person that was putting art out back in Tumblr days as a website, as an example, like Xcopy. or even there's all these different people that I'm like throwing out. We could put the links below to see their art. Like People Pleaser, she did the cover for Fortune for NFTs. So with different artists,
Right.
based off of like the work that they've done, adds value to their current drop. So that's how like it would be priced by the market. It's as a new artist that wants to come in, if they're like on one of the marketplaces like Foundation, if they want to
Mm.
sell their art there, they could set that limit. Like, oh, I have a reserve price of 1 ETH. So that's like they know the value of their own artwork. And that's what I see a lot is like some people put up their price and leave it there, or they'll like drop it down until like, okay, someone found value at, I started at 1 ETH, no one purchased it or made a bid, but I dropped it to zero point 0.8 and then someone actually bid. And it's funny because when somebody bids at zero point 0.8 ETH, someone else will go in, and then you'll later realize like his or her art sold for like 1.5 ETH or 2 ETH, higher than what they originally had. So it creates that like, oh, go ahead, Carmen.
No, 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 no. For those people who are watching and they're wondering, what is ETH? So
Oh,
ETH
I'm
is
sorry, sorry.
ETH is the Ethereum, Ethereum's cryptocurrency, and Ethereum is the blockchain. So I just looked it up. One ETH, one Ethereum cryptocurrency, which is the value that Mike was talking about, actually equates to currently about 4,000 US dollars. Wait,
Wow.
did I do that right?
Yeah,
Yep. Ether,
about
one
that.
Ether.
Yeah, so it just
Like,
depends what blockchain, because it could be on ETH or Tezos, just the different blockchains and what ETH or currency like Bitcoin, BTC, they're transacting on. So
and
hopefully that helps out.
not every blockchain allows
Right.
NFTs at the moment.
Well, not even every country allows cryptocurrency, right? Like I was it South America or somewhere around there. They accepted using Bitcoin. Is that the news that I read?
Well, yeah, El Salvador made Bitcoin their legal tendency, their legal
Mm.
tender. Like it's actually the country's money now. It replaced, I'm not sure, whatever their currency was previously called. And it seems like Ukraine might be heading that way also, and various other countries might be heading that way to where Bitcoin is their country's legal tender.
So Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is what people use these days anyway, Venmo and PayPal, right? Or Venmo at least, digital coin.
Oh, you can purchase Bitcoin from PayPal.
Right. And I'm sure many businesses these
And
days and civilians use PayPal and Venmo. I mean, I use Venmo anyway, but
yeah,
but for a country to claim Bitcoin to be the currency for them, I would imagine. I mean, a lot of people it's going to have a lot of older generation is going to have an interesting time transitioning using cryptocurrency. And
I
I
would
and I
think, oh, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
I would think for like a third world country though, it can be very helpful
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
how so?
because there's
Explain. Go
more financial value than whatever their currency was. Because like right now, what's Bitcoin? Like Bitcoin just hit an all time high like 2 days ago. Like one Bitcoin is currently worth about $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Do you
60,000
see
USD.
do you see the United States accepting cryptocurrency?
You
Well,
mean
we
as
already
they,
do.
yeah, yeah, they
Oh, I mean,
do.
like, I mean, do you think they would? I mean, I don't know what with El Salvador if they accepted cryptocurrency as the only currency to
I don't
use.
think we
I
will.
don't know. You don't think so?
I don't think so.
That'll be a long haul. Like personally, I feel that digital currency is the future. And the fact that El Salvador, that country, had made a decision to go crypto. If we're going to talk about the digital divide, right? It's been this digital, the fact that a third world, and I'm not, if you're El Salvadorian and you don't consider yourself third world, I'm sorry, we're just saying this. But the fact that a small country like El Salvador, um, is adapting this. Forget about the digital divide. They've literally put themselves at the forefront of adapting to what it is. And my friend just said, Sean out there just WhatsApped me and said, it is now, it's now. Like it's happening now. The US, the US, they're going to get rid. Uh-oh. There's some people who want to get rid of fiat currency because it's really not sustainable and all that stuff. Whereas digital currency like cryptocurrencies they help solve that. I don't know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so it's already.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say it's already being used here in the U.S. and everything, and like it's not just going to be like, oh, it's all Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's definitely going to be multi-chain, as in different blockchains. Like in the Philippines, I know a lot more people are transacting on with SLP. Like they have a digital wallet before they even have like a credit card.
Okay, so from my understanding, I'm gonna further this along. Bitcoin's not the only digital coin. There's other. I mean, there's Ethereum, ETH, and others you mentioned. Oh, there's more, huh? Okay, okay. So anybody, okay, a country can use different forms of digital coin, no matter whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or everything else. And they are all accepted right now to be used for transactions in
So
NFT.
you could convert it over to, say, I had SLP, that's or Ethereum and everything. If I wanted to convert it over to pesos in the Philippines, you're able to do that. Just through Uniswap or even through Binance of transacting like, oh, I need pesos. Like my SLP isn't like going to pay for my Jollibee or something like just something random. You could convert it over and then use that. So it's not there's different instances that they could accept that. I saw it where I forgot what article it was that I saw where people in the Philippines are accepting SLP for payments and everything.
Right. I'm going to put in a plug for Luis Buenaventura II, who is the CEO and founder of BloomX Solutions. So if you look up, I don't know, I think bloomx.com, he actually created it's not a trading platform, but a currency platform where overseas Filipino workers, and there's a lot of them, sending, and it's not just Filipinos. There's a lot of countries where they have overseas workers in the United States or Europe where they legit work to send money back home. And what he's done is he's allowed for these people to also enter the cryptocurrency space, use the money that they're making, still go through the regular remittance chain, I guess, however they do that. And then by using the BloomX software, convert that to like Bitcoin or crypto, which is like amazing. Like, so basically what Luis is doing, he's helping the regular Filipino person be part of this, right? Like that's amazing to me.
That's great.
Shout out to Luis, which we would have loved for you to be here, but we'll get you on. It's just a time difference thing.
Yes. Okay, so all right, so I'm running out of questions. So we established the cryptocurrency and that's used for NFTs. I think this was answered prior, but I'm still trying to grasp the idea that to me, I like holding physical art that I can touch and hold, and I consider it valuable to me. Although that seems weird because when you buy a Star Wars product and it's still in the box, that's more valuable than when it's taken out. How, how's NFT that you cannot touch? That's how's that valuable if you can't really, unless you make a hologram, but unless you can't, how how's that possible?
Um,
Do you want to take it, Carmen? No, I'll follow up.
yeah. So I know in my bio, I kind of mentioned that my first concept or touch point with what's now called an NFT was when I was in Second Life, and I had an avatar, and literally, legit guys, I spent so much money on my avatar, and when back then I was a nurse and people knew I was in Second Life, and they're like, "Oh my God, why are you spending so much money on something you can't even touch?" Dude, I bought land, I rented land, I built condos, I rented the condos, I created an art gallery where artists came and they uploaded their JPEG on the little easels that I made. And then I don't know, you just spend money. It's just like World of Warcraft when you buy items. It's like any other thing. Why would some piece of sword go for, like, I don't know, people kill for that? Like, literally, I think there was like a news way back in the 90s. I don't remember. But you get attached. I don't know about NFTs right now. Like, if I were to purchase like a JPEG off OpenSea, I don't know if I have an attachment to that. And that's something I'm still wrapping my head around, because I know that, you know what? Here we go. Luxury NFTs. There's luxury brands that are jumping into the NFTs, like Nike, Louis Vuitton, whatever, whatever. They're trying to jump into it to create NFT digital stuff of their products. So I don't know if I would buy a Birkin baby bag, a Birkin with a fetus on in it. Like I don't know. Honestly, maybe it's for the rich. Okay, I don't. I'm just thinking out loud here. Maybe it's for these people that have a lot of cryptocurrency, and it's like something they dabble and play in. I don't know.
So
Wow,
the
That's
I love
oh,
that. I love that luxury bag with a fetus in it that could be,
oh, it's
potentially.
not a real fetus.
I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I would create an artwork for that if I had the chance, because that seems wild. But
You know what I'm talking about,
I
though,
know, I
right?
know.
Okay, okay.
Edwin, do you play any video games by any chance?
Uh, yeah, I do.
Or
The
have
last
you?
recently or just in the past? I
Or
mean, like,
just in the past, like your favorite video game, looking
is
back as
that
a
one
child?
with the guy with the white hoodie with he jumps
Mm,
around?
Assassin's Creed.
yeah.
That was my last one, my favorite one. At that,
Mm.
but
Got you. So if we could connect it there, if that character in Assassin's Creed, you're like leveling up, buying different items in game. So that's kind of like what it is with NFTs. But just to switch it up, because I know you're the biggest hindrance for people is like, I don't own this, like I don't see it physically, right? That's the hard concept. So, you got where I'm going, Carmen? Do you want to finish
No,
it?
no, you go and I'll follow.
Okay.
And then Craig. Go.
Okay. Well, so I'm gonna just switch it to the house, physical like house. Like I have, say, if I had the investment property in California somewhere, I'm not always there. Let's just take away the house. I don't see it, but someone's always paying me rent. So that's kind of like the way for me to see that I don't need the digital part of it. I know that I own that, which is verified not by blockchain, but because it's in the contract. Like I have the deed. People, my renters are paying me. So if you could see like that's how the value is brought on your NFT or whatever NFTs you own. Like the ones, like you could check my gallery right now. It's like gallery.so/ Ayomiko, AYYOMICO. So you'll see the gallery of different NFT artwork that I own, both from like the digital land aspect to my board Ape Yacht Club and just the different artists that I collect. So, Carmen?
Okay.
You look so excited when I
Uh,
like click the video game one.
Well, it's because I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna put myself out in a limb because you guys are gonna experience what goes on in my head. And basically, I feel like the way the world is going, and I've always felt this way for 20 years and somewhat, hence digital femme. I kind of envision like the movies like The Matrix and Avatar and all that stuff where we um really operate in a alternate world that's all digital. That's what I'm feeling like. This we're going there. I don't know how long. Like there's already so much talk about the metaverse this metaverse. So I feel like we're going there. We're going to be humanity is going to be um uh oh like connecting and engaging more in the digital realm, especially if this pandemic gets even worse or whatever. And these NFTs that we are purchasing now, like legit NFTs, not Second Life avatar NFTs, they will have a purpose when we all just go digital. Like we can literally, if I were to buy an NFT that Craig created, and right now it just sits and I can look at it and OpenSea or wherever I'm going to put it. One day I'm going to have a digital house and I can take that. And Craig and TheDerbiedOne is going to become famous for his collection. And it's like, I got it. Do you know where I'm going? Like this is, I feel like this is where we could go. We could literally all live in a digital world, especially with this explosion of metaverse talk when it's nothing new, people. It's been, to me, a metaverse is like any platform where people can congregate and there's an economy and create and a collection of ideas. People are just using it for like Facebook spending $1 million on it, metaverse, building at a metaverse, and all that stuff. Let's not talk about that. But that's where I think we're going. We're all going to be digital.
Well, I mean, Second Life was that, right?
It still is. It's still happening.
Yeah, I
It's so
mean,
good.
yeah. I mean, Second Life. When I was in Second Life, it was just like, yeah, like you said earlier, a congregation of people getting together and speak, ideas and stuff like that.
It was a
After
true.
that, after that, the ideas happen. Well, Second Life, to me, Second Life back then there was no NFT and stuff like that. But my mindset is very limited at this point. Second Life, you get together with other people, physical people get together online, but you see physical online beings of Second Life. You talk and stuff like that. Whatever ideas come up, or only occurs in the physical realm. In the physical realm, you take that idea and you call that person up and you talk. I mean, but now you're talking. But you're saying that it can go further into the digital world, and
I'm saying that okay, look at me, look at us.
It's already happening.
It's already happening. Exactly. We're sitting here. Right. It's ready.
Yeah.
Ready Player One. Ready Player One. They're creating cross platform avatars. Like you can use your one avatar and use it on all the different games so you're more identifiable. I think the need to be identified is very important for us humans, regardless. And the ability that we can switch out our avatars just makes it fun. Like I could wear fairy wings and stuff.
So I will say something like, Carmen, when I was researching the metaverse before I bought my first NFT, so this is like over the summer, I literally did hundreds of hours. I actually came upon your videos on YouTube. That's how I discovered OVR. But I heard you say something in one of your videos that really kind of blew my mind about the metaverse, and it's the reason I reached out to you in the first place.
Right.
You said that the metaverse is just an expansion of your consciousness.
Oh my, yes.
So if you think of it as like another, in the same way some people think of their phone as an extension of them, your metaverse version, your digital version of you in the metaverse is an expansion of you. And to kind of bring it back a little bit, like the younger generation, the Generation Z and below are they're growing up with phones in their hand. They're growing up with a digital identity. And a lot of them are on like Roblox or Fortnite. They're spending real money to go buy these skins and different avatars so they can look better. Sometimes they don't even have any functionality other than looking better in that space. And so they're already in that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So in 10 years from now, 5 years from now, those 13-year-olds, those 15-year-olds are going to be 18, 20, 22, 25, and they're going to be running, you know, they're going to have a lot of economic strength in the world. So it's all headed that way. I mean, it just is. And then another example, when you were talking about like digital ownership, I kind of like, that's when my internet was breaking up a little bit, but I got a little bit of that. Think about your money in your bank. You don't hold that USD.
Right.
You don't hold that physical dollar or coin, but you know it's there. It's the same thing. It's a very similar concept. And, you know, as the space grows, I know that from my own personal work that I release, it's going to have much more utility than just being a JPEG. Like, you're going to be able to do things with it. It's going to have other value. Recently, there were these NFTs released. They're called like Degen Party, and if you owned one, you can get into exclusive LA-based NFT meetups.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way you can get in is by owning one of those. You have to have it in your wallet. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, that's one utility. But we haven't even gotten to the point where like dynamic NFTs are a big part of conversation yet. And like, there are NFTs you can store other NFTs in. You can store cryptocurrency inside of the NFT and time lock it so you can't access it, and it will just literally grow interest like a bank.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. You can add NFTs. Hold on. You can add crypto into an NFT art.
Yes.
So does that increase in value? I don't know. That makes a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
It can. I guess it depends on the value of the cryptocurrency and the value of the NFT that's inside of it.
Right. I'm glad
really
Greg.
Inside, but it's like working with.
Yeah.
The best way I can describe it is inside.
Yeah. I'm glad Craig brought that up, because you know that Craig and I are active. He's more active than me, really, in the OVR community, the OVR.ai. I'm calling it the metaverse, because it is like totally the only one. And so each parcel of land in OVR, which is a hexagon shape, it's about 300 square meters, is an NFT. So when Craig talked about NFT within an NFT, like, so you have a parcel of land that you own and it's an NFT, and you create augmented reality content, or you place NFTs on that. So let's say Craig were to, let's say Carmen, well, I have OVR overlands, and let's say I were to create an art gallery on my overlands, and then I would just let it sit there, and then the NFT value would go up. So would the land sale of an overland, and then let's say I would sell that. That would be huge. I know people are like, what? But come on, like everything we said what to, it's like mainstream now.
Okay, I understand what you said when applied to the digital realm. My next question to that is that, can you take that? I lost my question. Can you take that idea, the concept, like, for example, let me, for example, like Craig, you in your bio, you said it stated that you're investing or purchasing land in historic Filipino town using NFTs, in the digital sense, right? That doesn't really mean that you're going to historic Filipino town in LA buying property.
No, I'm buying the OVR version of the digital property. So really, when you buy like an AR land, if it's built on top of the real world, like for example, Edwin, I own Unidad Park in Hi-Fi. but I own the OVR version. Really, all I'm buying is the right to broadcast AR on top of that space. I don't actually own the land. Right now, currently, there is no tie between any government and augmented reality land space. Who knows if that changes in 20 years, or if it doesn't. I don't think it can, honestly. Yeah, and like I'm actually building a augmented reality club on top of Unidad Park.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
It's like Second Life then.
yeah, it is. It is, but it's augmented reality. So interestingly enough, like without physically being in historic Filipino town, anybody here can visit what I have created if you have like the coordinates or the link to get there. But if you're physically there, you can currently only look through your phone and through the OVR app, and you can see whatever we've created. My team is like, we're just beginning to create it, so hoping early next year it'll be done. But I'm actually building a club called the Bronze Derby.
I saw that.
And
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw that. May I elaborate, Craig, on what you just said about your thing? So the missing word is layer. So Craig owns a layer of a spatial web layer over the property he's been saying. And what does that mean? It means that what he said, you can create augmented AR experiences, augmented reality. What's the big deal? Well, it's a very big deal because not only can you create augmented reality experience, what it means that for retail, for live events, you can add, you hear experiential marketing. You get like Red Bull, and then they have like holograms and 3D things, and so it's not just marketing Red Bull, you're experiencing it. There's like they hire like Steve Aoki, right, to DJ, and then you experience the brand in that way. It's like awesome DJs, music, like, and all this kind of stuff. So just going over, so AR is going to be huge in the future, because that, I don't know, it seems like humanity always wants more. It seems like, and I don't know why, it seems like mankind is not satisfied with what they have already. Like, can't you just go out and walk and appreciate the trees? No, you got to go and make a digital tree and make it out into like a dragon and stuff like that. I don't know. That's just how mankind is. That's why I'm thinking we're all going to end up becoming digital anyway. We're going to end up living in a digital realm with our human bodies. Well, I think I talked in a tangent.
So
But-
it's kind of like for people familiar with Pokemon Go,
Yeah,
and they see that. See,
there you go.
but it's, if I'm in that area, it's Craig's assets that's built in that location.
But with OVR, you could see things remotely. You just need that's the thing. You don't literally have to visit the place to look at it. You need to download the OVR app, Edwin, and then you'll see what I mean.
Eventually, like when my club is built, you could visit my club from your living room.
Yeah. And we can log on with our avatars. That's amazing.
And you can be an avatar, your avatar in this space. So, but the thing is, I think the big question is there's so many AR and VR metaverses being built. Who knows which ones are still going to be around in 10 years? You know, much like AOL or Yahoo.
Right.
Like some of those are still around, or Tumblr had its moment. Like some of those are still around, but they kind of either completely disappeared or are minuscule now. Because Superworld is also an AR platform, very much like OVR. It runs a little differently. I don't like their business model at all, personally. It's not for me. Not what I'm looking for. But and like you if you want to get into virtual reality, there's a ton. Crypto voxels, Decentraland, Somnium Space, the Sandbox. I mean, even Axie Infinity on some levels, right, is a VR metaverse. So that's a whole new subject. That's a big can of worms we just opened.
Yeah, let's have another talk about that. But
Yeah, go back to NFTs. Like that's a
but Craig did bring up a good point, and Mike, that with all these metaverse platforms, NFTs are going to thrive.
yes.
That's the thing.
I look at NFTs as like it really became the gateway drug to crypto anything, to Web3. So crypto, like, because I had to buy cryptocurrency in order to buy my NFT, but I didn't buy cryptocurrency for cryptocurrency. I bought it for to buy an NFT.
Right. Good
So
point.
I had to discover and learn the process to go through that, and then, man, the floodgates opened for me. Like I just fell in love with the space. I like the attitude. I like the creation. Mike, you're about to say something. Tell.
So sorry, I was just about to say, like, so instead of just like thinking of like AR worlds and lands, there's also the application of working together to say, I want to produce a film. And if any individuals want to help out, I'm selling this NFT, which will provide you access to that film down to the decision making and process of it. Like, oh, who are our characters? And it's very expansive in describing it, and it's just not just one thing with like a JPEG. And I always just joke around about a JPEG, but it's so much more than that. And so that's another application that, as it relates to this. If you wanted to do a feature film and it's like, oh, I need funding for it. Well, why don't we have access for people that's interested in seeing this vision come alive?
There's so many applications for NFTs. Like there are things that you can do with NFTs that nobody's really figured out what to do with them. Like, have you guys ever heard of async art? It's a dynamic NFT. So, okay, here's an example. If you think of Photoshop and you know how there's multiple layers, well, with async art, multiple people can control each layer to create the NFT. Hello, I don't know who just said that. So multiple people can create the NFT together, and they can all do different things. Now, the interesting thing is through oracles or through what's the company called?
Chainlink.
Chainlink. You can actually connect your NFT to real world information. So let's take an example of async, and let's say that layer 1 is a bunny sitting in a grass field, right? And layer 2 is a mountainside with a sun that goes up and down, right? Let's say with layer 1, let's say that through Chainlink, it is literally attached to crypto, to the crypto coin market, to Ethereum. So when Ethereum goes up, the bunny smiles. When Ethereum goes down, the bunny frowns. And in the background, you can attach the sun to the Bitcoin market. When the sun is up, that means Bitcoin is going up. When the sun goes down, Bitcoin is going down. Like things like that haven't even began to happen yet because we're still in the profile pic stage of NFTs. But in 5 years, 2 years, 1 year.
So even like Beeple's piece had something similar to that. Like people purchased the NFT and it was dependent on the election, on who would win the election. You would either get one type of art or a different type. So it was like the cause and effect of it. And there's even a platform, Nifty Royale, where you kind of battle your NFTs. They're all like multiple ones. Say you have an edition of 10, and then you put those two NFTs together, and whoever wins at the end gets a 1-for-1 piece.
Wow.
So
Whoa.
there's just a different dynamics that you could
Yeah.
apply already.
You can mate NFTs to create a new NFT. Like, do you guys know what Fluff World is doing? Are you familiar with Fluff World? The
Mm-mm.
NFTs. So they are 3D NFTs, right? But like avatar NFTs, the creators you are able to like store music inside of your NFT, so it becomes like a streaming platform. And then there's this weird thing from my understanding, because some of it went a little over my head, I'll be honest. But there's a weird thing where they call it like the courting game. So one Fluff World NFT can go find another Fluff World NFT, and if they match of what's inside of them, they can mate to create a new NFT.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
like we're just exactly. We haven't even gotten to that yet because we're still at it's popular to change your profile pic on Twitter to your favorite NFT. Like that's still where we are in this game, but
That's
some of these things haven't even happened yet.
Wow.
Yeah, I like the Fluff World. I believe it's Jamie Burke that's an investor or part of that, and it's OVOHQ. So it's like they're playing the long game. It's not just like let me drop an NFT and then that's it. It was literally let me drop an NFT, but here is the long term vision for it.
oh,
You
wow.
can even layer AR on top of your NFTs. I mean, I'm
Right.
working with an artist on his drops. He's doing his himself, and yeah, it's gonna get really wild and interesting soon.
Okay. One of my friends wants to pose this question, and he says, "What do you think about NFT being the new way for the rich to launder money?" And he says this because there's a lot of that going around, a lot of that questioning going around on TikTok. Thanks for asking that, Sean.
Well, I think it's always just gonna happen. It probably happens in the physical art world. I know for a fact it happens in baseball cards.
Mm.
Like there aren't. Um, there's a very famous case of his name is Jose Uribe. He was not the greatest baseball player in the world. By no means a Hall of Famer. For the most part, he was on the bench, but his rookie card went for like $10,000. All because nobody has been able to prove this, but probably because people were laundering money through it. So, in my opinion, for whatever it's worth, whatever it means, it's just going to happen. And especially when you get into decentralization, you can't stop it.
Mm.
So, let me go back just a tad bit about the property part of things. So, Mike, from what I read from the articles I read from you, okay, so you do personal finance, but you also rent out, right, like houses or places. You mentioned something about um, I mean, when you see, okay, hold on, you're renting out houses and places, but that's in the physical realm, like going, having your own place and you're renting out rooms and stuff. But you said at some point that um, I'm probably not NFTs, but digital coin to pay. So you already explained that part that they can be converted. So I don't know where my question was going to be for this one. I have no idea. I had a question after I read your other articles. I'm just like, but you already answered some of it. So just anything you want to add?
No worries, no worries. No, so my start was I was doing personal finance to help others in the space of like, saving money, investing and everything. And I just like literally delisted all my personal finance stuff just to focus more on NFTs. Like for the longest, if you search anything with military, personal finance, how to get out of debt, how to start investing, like I was the top one that you would find on YouTube. I took that all down because like I want to double down in this space and I have the time to do that. So I was just using that as an example of like if like people can use their digital land right now to rent out a space. Like I believe Carmen, you said you were renting out a space in
Second
Second
Life.
Life. Yeah. So it's already even before NFTs and blockchain, like it was already happening.
Right. Right.
So you're renting out spaces in the digital form for the digital form
Mm-hmm.
for digital persons to rent out the digital rooms in the digital form. Not so much
Yeah.
taking not so much equivalent it to the physical world. No,
Yeah.
not at all.
So an example would be say Sandbox. If you had any property there, and I'm all like, hey, I want to put this up for rent. I've seen a company do this, and they're like, hey, you have a 12 by 12, which is a big square in Sandbox, and we want to put our logo in there. So if it's just an individual coming in to check the map, they see like, oh, Craig's logo of the TheDerbiedOne is there. Like I'm already like he's taking up that digital landscape in real estate.
It's
That in
starting.
turn people is it going?
You
Yes.
break into my brain now. Yeah, so I am.
Yes.
So I see. Okay, now I see the value. Whew, okay, so you
We
rent
did
out
it, guys.
you rent out a digital room. Okay, no, no. You have a digital room, but you want to rent it out. Craig rents it out, and let's say he premieres his new film through that in that room. But I guess he pays for that room in a digital form, like digital crypto money
Mm-hmm.
to you. So that's value for you and value for him. I get it now. It's a whole different world. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it because I'm always trying to champion the physical world, and but like
I mean,
but
right.
it's been a while for me to understand the digital world. So I and or at least because to me the digital world is just for fun, play games and just for fun. I never thought in a million years you can have a business in the digital realm or make money or have
Oh.
whatever that kind of thing. So
And they could totally coexist. It's not like one is better than the other. One supplements the other. One, brings it up. Just like all the like I think it's brilliant what Craig's doing with going to the Filipino historic towns and then having that OVR land overlaid. So I'm more excited to like go visit there and see it in the physical aspect of like having my phone and seeing all the AR assets than like, oh, I'm just in my living room. Like, no, I want to go over there and see it. So it brings that desire for it to be more immersive.
Yeah. I think the key is immersive. Any it's like this is digital right now. All four of us are in our real world, in our real apartments or wherever we are, but we are interacting digitally. So I must say that, like with VR and AR, so in Second Life, transparency here, I met someone in Second Life, and that was when I was a nurse. And what I did was I always wanted to be an architect. But my Filipino family's like, architect, like a girl architect? What's that? Like, what? No. And then so they wanted me to be a nurse. And I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to be the traditional, stereotypical Filipino nurse. But I was an obedient Filipina. So I went. And I still had that need to create and design buildings and stuff. So when I found Second Life, I went to town, and that's how I rented. And then I met somebody. It's a long story, guys, but I met someone. We worked together. We created a digital magazine called First Touch Magazine. We literally had to decide. We were on Skype deciding on the fonts, getting interviews, and oh my God. And then I met him, and he was living in Frankfurt, Germany. And that's when we legit knew that the metaverse and 3D virtual worlds was the future. So that's why I took a leap of faith, because I knew, yes, it's the future. Let's do it. I left nursing and I went to Frankfurt so we can start that. However, it wasn't the right time. I mean, we were knocking on doors. We were sending
Really?
proposals to it's yes, and just nothing. And now it's happening, like Decentraland and all this stuff. And I'm like, dudes, Decentraland. I have an account in Decentraland, and it looks like the blocks, the creator blocks, look like Minecraft to me. It's like if you need to log on to Second Life, because to me, if Second Life were ever to get on the blockchain and become it, they'll forget it, man. Like everybody's blown. Like because the creator community is amazing. So where was I going with this? Yes, it's immersive. You have relationships with these avatars. I wrote a whole blog about it. I didn't even know the guy. I didn't even see his real face, but you connect, you immerse with the chat. And then I created like a little island for us. It's just ridiculous. We rode on horses that I bought. Like people created horses to animate for your avatar to ride. So people were getting rich off these digital assets that they were creating. I sat for 6 hours creating an office building for a Japanese company, and I got paid like how many hundreds of thousands of Linden dollars, which equated to over 450 US dollars. I legit sat in my pajamas on my king size bed, just doing this for 6 hours, and I got 465 US. I have proof of that. I got the screenshot transaction.
Wow.
That was back in 2006.
That's amazing.
So whatever happened in Second Life or World of Warcraft, it's just evolved as the technology evolved, and it's just morphing to that.
Just wait
Like
till
in the
wait till the glasses are here. The hardware's here and more commonplace.
Yes.
My mind's blowing up as it is as you're furthering this. Like
The more I studied this space, the more my mind blew.
I think I'm like Craig when he started. I'm like, whoa, we could do so much.
You know what's funny? Can I tell you a funny joke? It's not even a joke, it's true. The third day I was in Second Life, I got approached by a male avatar, and we were like friends. And then he said, okay, this is weird, because I'm laughing my head off, because he says, oh my God, do you have a female genitalia like in your avatar? Like he said the P word, right? And I was like, what? Like I'm chatting, what? And then he says, oh yeah, all the girl avatars have this. And I was like, what? And I'm chatting like, what? And he goes, I'll buy you one. And I'm like, so he teleported me to this store that had like, are you kidding me? That had attachments for your avatar. We're talking attachments and then female attachments. So I was so so yeah, I think, yeah, it's funny.
Well, I guess it's like the film community. It's like the film community. There's an audience. There's an audience for anything. So, I guess it was Second Life. What you just mentioned. I mean, I'm shocked to hear it, but I'm not surprised because it's it's hilarious. But it's a product. He's selling a product that he's selling something for your avatar to have. So it's like the same concept. You're buying something
It
in the
was
digital realm.
hilarious.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not saying it's whatever, whether it's right or wrong. It's a business. He's running a business. That's all I'm saying. In the digital world, I don't know if that's right or wrong. I have no idea. I'm just saying he's running a business. I'm sorry, Carmen, if I'm offending you.
No, not at all, because I'm just thinking back then of my first impressions, and I was like flabbergasted, like, you got to be kidding me. People really role played. It was scary. I did not partake in any of that. I was always authentically me, except with really big boobs. But yeah, not offended at all. I'm just remembering, like, oh my God, like how weird that was.
Yeah, Second Life was awesome. I was doing a lot of. I mean, I was just exploring the possibilities. It's weird. I was exploring the possibilities of what can grow in Second Life, but I guess the concept to grow out of Second Life and taking it further, like how you would make an investment in Second Life, you can take it further to what is now NFTs, I guess, or at least the
Yeah.
value of NFTs. Oh my God. Why? Anyway.
And
um,
the
yeah.
Carmen, the Linden dollar was a stable coin, right? Like it was pinned
Well,
to the USD,
yes.
right?
Yes, people
So
traded, correct, and bought stuff with it. So the Linden currency, the Linden dollar was the currency of Second Life, and you would purchase Linden dollars by attaching it to like a PayPal or a credit card and just buying it.
but how many Linden dollars equaled $1?
That's a good question. I could
Because
look
that
it up.
never changed.
Yes, it was never one for one. It always fluctuated with the internal economy. That's what was so they literally, you know how people trade the forex trading? People literally legit got into that. They really traded Linden dollars in a third market. It was crazy. Like Linden Lab sold, you can buy it from Linden Lab, but people went and bought heaps of Linden dollars and then sold it in the third. It was just I didn't get into it because I was like, well, but correct, Craig.
I feel sometimes the buying the conversation you're having, buying the buying NFTs and digital land and all that stuff is kind of like playing with your 401k plan or something like that. I don't. It's or not at all. You're shaking your head, Mike. Go why?
I think you should separate. For me personally, I separate those two items in different portfolios.
Mm,
So it's different buckets. Like I have my like a real estate portfolio. I have my 401k, my index funds, and NFTs or blockchain and cryptocurrency is completely somewhere different. Now, can you integrate or pull away from one to put in? Sure, you could totally do that, but that's all on your risk tolerance, really. Because I know people that has all their portfolio is in cryptocurrency or all their portfolio is real estate and they're not going to touch cryptocurrency. I personally I like to be diversified. So I fully believe in NFTs, but I'm not fully invested in it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
that's why I ended up shaking my head when you said the 401k one. And that's just me as a personal finance creator. And that was always my thing. It's like, if worst comes to worst, like things go to zero, like it would, like I don't want it to be just in one basket, if that
right.
makes sense.
Mm. I wonder, Mike, the collection. Okay, so in your bio, you mentioned that you collect
Yeah.
NFTs, but you don't. But but you keep them because I mean you keep them not just because of value, but you keep them because you like to have a collection. Is there any
Mhm.
time at all in that collection there's a piece there that went up that increased in value that you weren't
Yeah.
tempted to like, oh, should I sell? Or
No, no, not at all. Like for me, like the collection I have, like don't want to sell it unless I need to, if that makes sense. And even like to the point of like I bought some NFTs for my mom because she watched my YouTube videos and was like, I don't get it. What is this? And I was like, all right, I'll go buy you one. And it was like World of Women that I bought for her,
That
and it just went up in value later on. And I'm just like trying to explain to her about it. And right now I'm just like trying to tell her like, oh, you could just get cryptocurrency, like invest in Ethereum and everything. Like, don't worry about the NFTs yet. Like, let me make a more detailed video so that it's not like you're lost on what's a MetaMask. Because we all know here that's transacted with NFTs, the hindrance and different hassles we have to get through downloading a MetaMask, transferring your cryptocurrency to your MetaMask wallet, purchasing the right NFT because there could be multiple fake copies. So you want to be able to verify that. And I told my mom, like, don't worry about it. I bought her the World of Women Zen NFT, and the Zen NFT she loved because she has a bunch of plants and it was a bonsai tree that has an AR capability.
Oh
So I sent her the
man,
file, and she was like so excited to like see that AR file there, and I'm all like, that one's for you. Like, so
that's
now
nice.
it's yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like I ended up shaking my head. I'm all like, no, like let's make smart, informed decisions on the things we want to invest in, and know the risk that's involved with it.
Hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm just going to pose it out because I'm sure Edwin would ask this too. How does one go about creating an NFT to sell it?
So there's different marketplaces that you could upload your file and your NFTs. There is OpenSea, Rarible, or Foundation. For each, there's multiple other ones, but I'll just limit it to those three. With OpenSea, you transact through their storefront. So that one, if say I have a digital image, well, I actually created one just to transact on it. I'm not like actively selling it. You would just mint it in OpenSea, and then you're able to have that file there. The only thing that I don't like about that is it's not an ERC 721 token, or and it's a ERC 1155.
What does that mean? Can you
Completely like
okay,
I'm
okay,
all
just
like I don't know if
another
I want to like jump into this one, but basically it's not. I don't know how to get into this without getting like too deep into this. But just to keep it simple, you could go through OpenSea, mint your NFT there, or Foundation and Rarible. It's
so
an easy process.
okay. I know that you need Ethereum or Ether to the cryptocurrency for the Ethereum blockchain to purchase or sell your NFTs. Is there another cryptocurrency other than
There,
Ether? Because it's so expensive, the gas fees.
so there's also Matic, which is through Polygon, and they
Oh,
also have a storefront in OpenSea that you could use. With Matic, it is cheaper on gas fees
like a
and
tenant.
faster as well. Yeah, I like Matic personally. I have
how do
that
you,
that's my own personal opinion, and it's a layer two. So
how do
yeah,
you spell
that's
Matic? MADD?
uh, Matic.
Oh, Matic.
Yeah,
Matic.
I'm actually the first 9 NFTs I released are going to be on Matic.
Oh, really? Okay,
Nice,
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we are releasing through our own smart contract, so it's not going to be
Nice.
directly through OpenSea. But
That's
we're
awesome.
going to you can mint on our website, and then secondary market will be on OpenSea.
That's awesome.
Eventually, the Coinbase marketplace.
Yeah,
Wow.
that one's huge. Like
Yeah,
Coinbase
that's going to be
coming
giant.
into the space and everything.
I think we're like I don't know if Edwin was able to follow along with everything we were just talking about, or if he has
Oh
questions.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna watch the video again.
He's
Okay, so
he's absorbing.
Edwin,
He's absorbing.
Yeah, it's a
so to
Osmosing.
lot. It's a lot to absorb at
Edwin, to
first.
do any transaction on Ethereum, you're paying gas fees, which could be I don't know, up to like $120, $20 to $100+
I've
depending
seen it
on
in the
like
thousands before.
yeah, it could be up there, but with Matic, with a different blockchain you're transacting, it'll be lesser gas fees.
Hmm.
So what's their coin? Is it Matic? The Matic token?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Polygon.
Oh, right, Polygon. Okay.
Poly,
Matic
Polygon's
would be the
the second layer blockchain, right?
Okay.
The Matic is the coin of Polygon.
Okay.
So
yes,
is it technically a token or is it a coin?
That's a good.
it's a token. I'm sorry, it's a coin.
Evan or Edwin is
Yeah.
we should get
No,
back
He's
to the
googling.
audience
the only tokens and coins I have is from Vegas, and I'm not sure that's valuable. Especially from the one from the Trump Tower. Anyway,
Is it valuable to you?
well, I mean, I won $500 in the machine at Trump Tower long ago. I'm like, I should keep this. I don't know. get that. Um, Risk taking. Um, Mike mentioned risk taking. Craig,
Yeah.
any thoughts of implementing NFT artwork or NFT generally into filmmaking or producing films?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Mike that earlier talked about using it to raise funds for films. That is definitely something I am curious about and kind of have put into my roadmap of my big 10,000 project next year. But it'll be an eventual thing. I have to get there first. I want to build the community, build the desire to have these, and then I'm going to start to function in financing a project, a film, or other projects. Not even just films, but other projects. But like that's a big subject. I know that there is an NFT like film movement happening, but I'm not heavily involved in that at the moment. There's a couple platforms coming out that are going to support NFT films. I mean, there were what were they called? The Stoner Cats. Stoner Cats are like little short cartoons that Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, and why can't I think of his name? The creator of Family Guy. But they all teamed up together and created Stoner Cats and released them.
Seth Rogen?
No, it's
No.
Seth.
Wait,
Seth Meyer. Seth Meyer?
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane?
Yes, there you go. Thank you. I couldn't think of his name. I could picture his face, but I couldn't think of his name. Anyways, they released Stoner Cats, which I think were like 7-minute cartoons. I don't really like if somebody knows how that process works. Like you can view that NFT without owning it, right? Kind of like that music NFTs. But the original owner of that NFT, there's value in it. Like
the owners have access to those episodes. I actually put out the video on Stoner Cats Explained on my YouTube channel, and it was with, as you said, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, even Vitalik Buterin, who's like the co-founder of Ethereum.
Ethereum, right.
Yeah, so that's it's definitely interesting to see the use case within Hollywood for that. And I track most of the Hollywood ones too, as far as like any creation that's going on, because there's also like Aku World by Micah Johnson. It was just signed to do a film distribution, I want to say, which will be the first of its kind. And even now, the CryptoPunks, people like at Larva Labs signed with
CAA.
CAA, and then Bored Ape Yacht Club signed with the people that is managing Madonna, to name an example.
Wow.
So it's definitely there. Like it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, CAA now owns, or now is managing NFT creators and NFT collectors at that. They're doing both. So
I mean, with CAA and all these upper class people who are in the NFT community, it seems like the value of NFTs is going to go up anyway, and probably be accepted by the general public at some point. It seems like, oh boy,
it's coming.
get on the bandwagon, everyone.
The next step is when Coinbase, so Coinbase announced that they're doing an NFT marketplace, and within 2 days they had 2 million people signed up on their wait list. And from my understanding, OpenSea, which is the largest NFT platform or marketplace right now, has about 500,000 users. So Coinbase in 2 days had 2 million. OpenSea has 500,000. So there's a new floodgate. As soon as that marketplace is open, there's a new floodgate of NFT buyers, sellers, creators that will come in, and the market will just change. And
Right.
like everybody thinks right now, like 10,000, 10,000 for reasons I'm not sure of. Maybe someone can educate me, but 10,000 is like the number in a collection that most people release in their NFTs. But 10,000 is going to become a very, very, very tiny number when those 5 million people start to stroll into the NFT market, let alone the world. I mean, 10,000 is nothing.
Right.
The whole market is going to change again.
So, okay, so let's see. It's almost 4 o'clock. Those of you who are watching our Twitch channel right now, if you have any questions, please subscribe and post your questions on the chat. I'm sure there's a chat on my Twitch. I don't see it, but if you see it, go ahead. But if you have a question, just go ahead and post it anyway, and we'll let you, and then we'll pose the questions to our panelists. While we're waiting, I have a few more questions and a couple and an opportunity for you three. One question. Oh, being this is Filipino American History Month, I want to focus on our people, our culture, and uplifting all of us in this new industry, this new realm of NFTs. Do you feel that there's a diaspora of Filipino Americans, or maybe not Asian Americans, but yeah, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the word incorrectly. But is there, like, do you see a lot of Filipino Americans part of the NFT community or the scene itself? Investors, creators, collectors?
I think Mike has a
Yeah.
grip on that, don't you? Like,
Mike.
Oh no, I was gonna let you guys answer.
Because I'm trying to find them personally.
So there definitely is a huge community. I know one of she's more of an OG artist is Shelly Sonjea, Soneja. She produces crypto art and also has a blockchain game she's the art director, and it's all based out of Philippines. Right now, the startup community in the Philippines is fairly, I think for my cousin, my cousin told me it was it's fairly small, but it is there. As some people might know, Yield Guild Games is one of the bigger ones. They just had a funding round from A16Z, so that's pretty huge in itself. I think, in my opinion, I see that there is definitely a lot of people in the Filipino community in the Philippines and Filipino Americans that's representing the NFT space.
Right. Um, I I know I mentioned Luis Buenaventura II, that I feel like he created the third ever NFT in the world, like the third NFT, and he was also one of the top 100 artists that were invited by not Coinbase, Binance when they released the Binance NFT platform and marketplace. Um, what was I gonna say? Where am I going with this, guys? So I think I think a few months ago, I think it was April, Ventura put out an NFT that sold for like a lot of money, and then he ended up getting like more recognition, and then he partnered with some Marvel comic guy, and then they together did a collab, and again he got more recognition within the Philippines. So I think maybe like on to write on with what Mark said, because he got like that recognition in the newspapers and in the news, more Filipino people may have looked up what an NFT is and then just opened the door more. You know what? I heard that the Filipinos are the top 3D creators, 3D animators in the world. And I don't know where it is. I know it's in Quezon or that big island up there because I'm from Cebu. And there's like a location where it's just designated for training in 3D animation and film. I can't remember it's huge. And then so these 3D animators and film people, they get outsourced. They go to Hollywood and stuff like that. But can you imagine with the creativity of the Filipino people and getting into the NFT market, we're just gonna take over. Look out, world! Like it's our time, guys.
Yeah, so to kind of introduce like Axie Infinity, I have a current guild right now, and for people that's in my guild, my scholars, like I partnered with my cousin there that has a company that does like education for STEAMs, science, technology, math, and everything, and like a percentage of what my guild makes, I put it towards that so that there's blockchain education for the younger community in the future. You know, like to teach Filipino children to like how to code and everything. And Carmen, I'll talk to you offline about it to kind of figure out a partnership and how to fully develop that. So I think for me personally, there is a lot.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I would like to get more involved in the Filipino NFT community, Mike. So, you want to introduce, or is there
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
is there a Discord, or maybe we
There
want to
was,
do a Twitter Spaces together and start just interviewing people and talking to them about their experiences?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
That's a
do that.
great idea.
I know I sent you the Discord group.
Yes, yes, it was
There
great.
there's
Yeah,
the Facebook one as well, NFT Philippines. I'm not like a mod or anything there, but I'm just like active in like reaching out to people. Like there was even like I thought it was awesome. It was like a jeepney voxel art, and I was all like, dude,
Oh wow.
please let's partner up and let's do a generative jeepney drop that'll be
yes.
used in like sandbox. And like in case if anybody has sandbox property and is looking for someone to develop, let me know because I'm connected there and I could help you out. If you know if you have like a 1 by 1 or to a 12 by 12 and you're looking for someone to, hey, I need a building built, just
You know,
hit me up in the DM.
we should do a generative jeepney drop, right? And then on the side can be logos from various Filipino created and Filipino started companies,
That's a
like
great idea.
Apology or Canva, or here in the States, what the hell is that potato place called? Everyone, do you know what I'm talking about? There's like a potato chain. Um, but anyways,
It's
yeah,
like,
that's an interesting idea. So I have, I like between Edwin and I and Jason, if he's still here, there's a lot of connections to the Filipino business world in America
Hmm.
with some international reach. So that
Mm-hmm.
could be like a real thing.
Can you
Interesting.
can you imagine if Jollibee created like their own little NFTs? Like
Yeah.
actual
Ooh.
Jollibee? Oh my god.
If I had more money, I actually would have bought every location that Jollibee was on in OVR because I have ideas, but I don't have the money to do that at the moment. Um,
So,
oh,
I'm sorry. There was a question that was proposed. I don't know if you want to answer or not. How about from Mr. Le Proporio? How about buying an OVR land NFT in Manila? Was addressing it to me, but I'm not ready yet. How about the three of you? Would you be interested in? I'm not sure if he's proposing a the land that he probably has, or he has. That's a generic question. Oh, in order to show what Filipinos can do with AR and NFTs. Okay, so maybe it's a generic question.
I've I've thought about it. When I get a little bit more liquidity, I have a few spots in Manila and in the Philippines in general that I actually want to go buy in OVR because I have ideas and connections and blah blah blah. Uh, and by the way, Carmen, it's Hexanaut, the guy.
Hexagonaut, correct. Yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
So he's
right.
part of the OVR community.
Right.
I didn't know that's what his Twitch name was, but I saw it in the comments.
Oh, thanks, Craig.
I have
Yeah.
a question. Like, I'm sorry. Like, oh my god, maybe this is more for Mike. property. Like some properties are more valuable than others, especially in different countries, especially when you retire. Like if so, is it the same in the NFT world or the VR world where okay, maybe if I want to retire in say Norway because that seems to be the top place people want to go to retire, but do most people is there like competition in the digital NFT VR
The
world?
landscape. For me, in my opinion, there's going to be multiple like metaverses people will be interacting with, such as OVR, Sandbox, or Decentraland, or even one we don't know yet. Competition wise, I know there's big companies that's buying out lands in those areas, such as Republic, like Republic Realm. They're a company. If you wanted to invest in startups, you could put money, like just $100, invest in startups through them. But they created their own division to invest in NFTs and metaverse and things in the Web3 space. Now that's hard for me to compete as someone that's just in the Navy, like just doing my own thing with NFTs, where they have like a huge amount of capital. And in order to like kind of join their Republic realm, you have to be an accredited investor. So you have to be making, I think, like a million net worth, not including your real, not including like personal property and everything. So there is like the big institutions that's there already. And it seems like I've done like metaverse lands videos, like Treeverse, and whenever I'm doing my research, I see like, okay, they're in there already. Like I'll just take my one by one like small house in New York by like buying a skyscraper, so to speak. So it all depends. Like you could invest in that way with metaverse lands or digital art to AR capabilities.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's segue now to your NFTs, the ones I've been using for advertising this panel. Oh, and which I'll bring up another question to that later. So let's start off first with Carmen. Um, so the NFT you sent me is of you, I believe, with
Well,
the winter,
yeah.
or is that something else? Just your hand.
Well, it was supposed to be a digital femme hat, but that avatar I could only use it this way. So it was a hat. So that is just an avatar to represent myself. I have not yet created any NFT, although back in March, April, when I found the reason why I found OVR is because I was researching NFTs, and I had two projects that I've done and I think would be really great NFTs. One of them is I created 12 of these. They are made out of like tin foil and wire, and they're pretty much all the same. And I call this, I call 12 of them because 12 is like a sacred number in the Bible, and it's like 12, 12, 12. And what I plan to do with this is, and I have it on my Instagram, it's called the Art of Being Gallery. So, well, what I wanted to do is I created photos where it looked like they were life-size structures, but you wouldn't know it. And it was really going to be not poetry, but like these 12 figures in different formations explaining the art of being, like how we came into human form, going through the whole evolution of consciousness and addressing like issues that we have in humankind. And it corresponds with a poem with the formations, and also a legit canvas art that I did to represent it. It's in there. It's in my Instagram Art of Being Gallery. And the other project was, oh, it's falling. I made over 200 paper dresses, and that's a story in itself. So these are, if you go to the dollar store, there's white tissue paper that you stuff with the gift bags. I actually dyed hand painted each one, and I created a process where these bodices are they are from a like a piece of stock paper that I found a way to create a whole bunch of them. And I don't know if you can see, but it's crazy. But the flowers I made, everything I made, and this is a take from the Filipina. What's it called? What are those butterfly sleeves? Our Philippine national dress.
Oh, the
Yeah, the yes, yes. So my inspiration was interestingly enough, was the butterfly sleeves, the Philippine national dress. And I have butterfly sleeves, and then I just went and did this. So I'm going to create um an NFT, a replica digital copy of each dress, and they will get the physical one, and there's going to be a story behind it.
wow.
That's
There's
awesome.
definitely gonna be, it's huge project. And then I know Craig on our Twitter DM said to us that, oh, is this going to be a wearable? And I'm like, that he knows where I'm going with it, but it's like I don't have the technology. I need like to upgrade my graphics processor, which you can't get anymore because like it's like so expensive now. So, but yeah, I have these two NFT projects that I have in mind, but I have not created any NFTs yet.
Okay. Hey, J- Jason, can you show the Carmen's
Oh,
the yeah the NFT art NFT one, so just in case people haven't seen it.
huh? Can't they
Oh
see
yeah,
it like in here on the
I don't
video?
know. Well, if it's oh yeah, go ahead and block us and just show the on top if you can. If not, it's okay.
Oh, well, I can send the link to the Instagram account of this. But I have an Instagram called the Paper Dress. I don't know what I called it. 100 paper dresses.
Hmm.
But yeah, and I thought it'd be fun for girls, and because women also fantasize. Women, even though no matter how old we are, we still like these little things because it means something to us. It's like it kind of like gives us a memory of our childhood. And so that kind of, but there's a whole story behind why I started this. It's a whole other thing, man. Like it completely healed me. I started off with white because I don't like color. And my transformation from white to color was an actual internal process where I went through healing. So,
Wow, that's so powerful.
it
The detail on those dresses are amazing, by the way, Carmen.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it took about 6 to 8 hours to create one dress.
Wow, that's
Uh,
amazing.
and I don't plan for it. You just go like I have all these bodices, but I just like go with the flow. I would treat it like I would get on my studio. I'd be there at 9 o'clock and just however your imagination takes you, what color. It was just like this. And I knew it was meant for something, and now it's like NFTs. But there's more behind that story, right? So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
So Mike, tell us about your hilarious NFT board. Is it
Oh,
Board Eight Club Yacht?
Board Ape
Boy,
Yacht Club, yes.
Yeah, I found out that it's a community, right?
Yes,
Is it not? Okay.
yes. So mine was it was I was just on Twitter one day and I seen someone post about it and I was like, oh, I definitely like the art and that's what like my first indication if I'm going to pick something, it's like the do I vibe with that art, and I bought one and I went into the Discord and the Discord in itself was just a very vibrant, active community that everyone was just interacting and just kind of excited about the drop that I stayed, bought another one, I had two, and it was just interesting to see the network effects of what they're building out, not just them, the developers and creators, but people in that space. Like, I want to say in the beginning, they had they set aside funds for different projects that they want to help out with in the community. So they had the in real life meetup in Venice to building out Jenkins the valet and even people in the community that used like people's avatars to put into like coffee bean bags and everything
Oh
to
wow.
like we have someone that's in Hawaii that's a pilot, and he's like, oh, if you're ever here in Hawaii, like I'll take you on a flight. And I've seen that, and it's just different people like building out stuff in this space already. So you saw that network effects, and then as you could see, I want to say Shaq got one, Gary Vee, Steph Curry was a huge one, and then they as in the Board Ape Yacht Club community. There was some that was sold in Christie's and Sotheby's. So it's just insane to like be part of that community, and as one of like the original minters. Like someone posted like, oh, like my OG BAYC. I'm all like, oh my god, like I feel like that's how old I've been in this space. Like, which was just in the beginning of the year. But I want to make sure that that community, that we spread out, like helping others, not even if they don't have a BAYC, it could be different, like Gutter Cat Gang or Crypto Pills, just helping each other out in this space. So
They really
yeah.
set the standard for community in the space. Like they're often referred to as like, the example that I know, like the crypto community is a very similar type of vibe. We're not nearly as popular or nearly as blue chip as Basie is, but it's definitely, you can feel like the footsteps that we're following in, and it was set by Bored Ape Yacht Club in a lot of ways. And to think, like, Bored Ape Yacht Club got released in, what was it, April?
April, yep.
And now, like, what's the floor? Like 40 ETH, so
Yeah.
$160,000. And you could buy it for 0.07 or 0.08. 0.08, whatever, not released. And so you could buy it for approximately, and I have no idea what ETH was back then, but like approximately like $300 in April. And what is it, like 7 months, 8 months later? Now the smallest one is $160,000.
I know, it's crazy.
And then you have the community itself. Just I don't know that many Bored Ape Yacht Club owners. I know a few, and everybody's always so cool and genuine, and just even when they post on Twitter, everybody is such a great vibe. They set a standard. Yeah. One day I'll have a Basie. One day. There'll be one with a Derby too.
I'll look around and I'll ask around for you. I'll keep an eye out.
No, I don't have the money for it yet. Well, maybe I can
The mutant.
One of them and create something together.
True.
Kind of like somebody reached out to you, right? Like maybe that's a possible vibe eventually.
It'd be awesome, Craig, that if you have the VR version of the Derby, the Brown Derby, in VR, right?
Well, I'm calling it the Bronze Derby.
What?
I'm calling it the Bronze Derby.
Why the Bronze Derby?
Because I'm gonna bronze. I have my very first Derby that I bought when I was 19. I'm gonna bronze it. And in real life,
nice.
I always actually wanted to hang that in a real life bronze Derby club that I would open one day.
And I was leading to that. Like at some point, I would like you to open the Bronze Derby.
Well, if Concepcion is makes it, then yes, I will.
So since we're talking to you, let's talk about your NFT. Crypto. What is it again? Crypto pill. There you go.
Yeah, I can bring it up actually.
Yeah, go for it if you can.
Well, why crypto pill? I know it's
Yeah, why crypto pill?
Okay, I'll tell you in 1 second. So there it is. You can see it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, what happened there?
Inception.
Well, okay. I'll just bring it up and just talk for a second. All right. So one, when I got into crypto pills, it was the artist, Misha Klein. Like, he's been in digital art since the late 80s. I loved the art. There's a bunch of ADHD pills actually that says ADHD on their chest, and I really resonated with that. Also, he had ones with derbies, so I obviously resonated with that. And then there was just a vibe about it, and so like the more I dug in, I honestly also, not beyond the art, I thought when it got released that because of who the artist was and because of who the marketing team was behind this, I really thought it was going to pop financially fairly quickly. That has not been the case for reasons I don't fully understand, but the community itself, started a fan club room on Clubhouse that they kept open for, it was about 3 weeks straight, like 24 hours a day. There was somebody always in that room because they loved the art. And as I got to know the people in the community, the active members, there was such a great like vibe. There was always, like, for example, the pill that you just saw is not one that I ever bought. Somebody sent it to me. They gave it to me because I did not have a pill that had a derby and I did not have any ETH to go buy one. So they sent it to me. I didn't ask for it. I didn't hint at it. Nothing. That was weird. They literally gave it to me, and that's the type of vibe and tone that was set within the community. And so many of us were in there so often that we all like began to like get close and vibe. They threw a party in crypto voxels, and we all got like pill wearables so we could turn ourselves into like these giant pills. Basically, there are various ways you can manipulate what your avatar looked like in crypto voxels, which is the metaverse for those that don't know. And we all like partied together in a crypto voxels room. They had a DJ, and we all just like we hung out. And the community is very international. Like people in France, people in Australia, people in the Netherlands, all over the place, Ireland, like everywhere. And there's a lot of great characters in the room, like in the community. There's a lot of great, interesting people. And then on top of that, there are also leaders in the community that own crypto pills, like leaders in the NFT community that own crypto pills that are very active and very passionate. So it also became like a very great learning resource for me, because I shut my mouth for a long time while I was in that room. But for a long time in this space is like 3 days, or a week. Like, time is also very different in the NFT space, guys. It works very differently than in real life. It's so weird. And I just learned, and I learned so much by just sitting and being quiet and just being reverent and just like absorbing. Now I'm one of the leaders in the community, and like I'm very active and supportive, and we're not allowed derivatives, but the community itself keeps on creating. There's whole marketing movements that the community is doing. There are murals that are being put up in like Detroit and Chicago. There are murals possibly being put up in LA. There's all sorts of things. So like the community is very passionate, and we all believe that one day the crypto pills financially are going to be worth a lot more. But still, the art and the people in it are just amazing. Like, if you can zoom in on some of these at some point on your, like, some of them, and the pills have like moons and stars in their eyes, but you can't notice it until you zoom in. Or if you see their golden grill, like zoom into the grill on their mouth, and there's all sorts of details.
Wow.
Misha really considered and thought about when creating them.
it's hilarious that you found a crypto pill that already has the derby hat on. It's not like you put it there yourself. But I'm just like serendip. Sounds like serendipity. Sounds like
Yeah,
a
there were
match
a
made
lot of
in
serendipitous things that happened to me while being involved in the community that I'm like, oh, this is supposed to be for me.
heaven.
Like I just felt it, and so I'm here. And I have 3 crypto pills right now. I've sold one. I have 3. Um, I'm trying to sell one another because I need a little bit more liquidity because I want to get into a couple other projects. But yeah, and there's like, oh, I think we got like 3 more minutes, right? 2 or 3 more minutes. But I know there's a suit that someone can buy and wear, and you can layer your NFT on top of that suit, and in video you can be your NFT. I've seen it. I've seen it with a Bored Ape Yacht Club once, and I know the Defiant on YouTube. He's doing it with something eventually. He's
There's
talked
a
about it.
Halloween. There's a Halloween costume for that.
Expect people to dress up as Bored Ape Yacht Club this year. Like,
Great. So I'm at. I've learned. You know what? I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot this past an hour and a half or so about NFTs. Yeah, there was a
yay.
breakthrough, Mike. That's like I was going like this, like yeah, not like a lobotomy feeling, but more like oh, I get it. So before we go, I'd like to say that thank you everyone who watched our panel today live. This will be up on. This will stay on my Twitch channel until I put up another video and bumps this one. But no fear, this will be on my YouTube channel maybe tomorrow, so you can watch it a lot there. And I'll probably watch it a lot for me just to review everything I may have missed. Uh, Thank you to my guests, Mike Damazo, Carmen Villadar, and Craig Obligacion Wilson. Before we go, can you please let everyone know where people can find you, social media, websites? How? Go for it. Well,
Well,
Carmen, go
you
ahead.
can find me
Go
anywhere in social media as the Derbied One. Especially, I'm very, very, very active on Twitter nowadays.
Mike.
Oh, well, first, thank you so much for everybody being here. I appreciate the time. Love being able to chat with everyone. And thank you for hosting this, Edwin.
Oh,
And you guys can find me on Twitter as just Mike Damazo and on YouTube as well as Mike Damazo. Rebranded the channel to be MDNFT. So any like new drops that I'm like, okay, like I've done my research, you'll see videos there, and also different tools to help you out with NFTs and all that. So connect with me, always open. Just shoot a DM just to chop it up. TheDerbiedOne knows that. That's how he reached out to me, and just build a relationship. And always happy to help anybody in the space.
That's great. And for me, you can find me on Twitter at Digital Femme. I just changed my name there. I have several YouTube channels, but just connect with me on at Digital Femme on Twitter, and then we can start like a conversation. But I just love this, guys. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you, Craig, for inviting me and pulling me in. Finally got to meet you. Thank you, Mike. There's going to be a lot of synergies happening within us four and outward, and I'm really looking forward to that. Like really, really looking forward to that. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching as well.
so
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm happy that that we can do this and have everyone know more about NFTs and have you three to at least educate me because I want to. I think at some point I will create an artwork and see. Oh, that's the other thing. The animated advertising I made for this panel, can that be made as an NFT?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I was actually going to approach you after this and tell you that you should both the posters you should make into NFTs and try to sell them.
Should I be asking from the three of you like not a contract, like a permitted rights to use your NFTs on my artwork? No. Yes. No.
Well,
Mike?
that's actually because I know for me personally, the creator doesn't want you to use their. You can't basically.
See, there
He
you go.
won't
So
allow you.
that's what I thought. So I'll
You
just
can't make
create.
money off of his imagery,
Mm.
other than reselling an NFT that you own of his. But
All right, so I'll just create something original then.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So hey, again, we're all learning still, or at least me. Thank you for everyone for this panel, for watching this panel. Celebrate this month. We only have 1 week left for Filipino American History Month. Please celebrate as much.
pew pew pew.
Acknowledge our success, our struggles, our failures, but mainly our successes. And be kind to everyone out there. So thank you. Good night. Good morning, Mike. Uh, have a good rest of your day. Uh, thank you and bye. Peace.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.